Hey there, welcome to day 27 of the Get Up and Go Challenge. Today we're going to wash your dirty mind with soap, with our soap framework. Well, today we're going to go through the soap framework on our mental health. Remember, we've got our 7 key areas and aspects of our life: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, and contribution. We've now done physical, financial, relationships, emotional yesterday, which was a fun one. I actually ran through about 5 or 6 different emotions with that yesterday, just for the fun of it, because I haven't consciously sat down and done it. I do it so much automatically that I forget. Sometimes it's even more powerful to actually sit down and think about, okay, I want to go through this, and I really want to think about it on purpose, purposefully, consciously, the S, the O, the A, the P. So today we're going to run through a mental exercise. What do I mean by mental health, mental exercise? Now, just like our emotional well-being and our emotional health and our emotions run everything within us as human beings, our mind does that as well. Our thoughts and our feelings are really interconnected, right? We usually feel something, and then it leads us to think something about how we feel and what we're feeling. And the thoughts that we think a lot become our beliefs, right? All a belief is a thought that you think often over and over and over again, or a thought that you think in a highly emotionally charged environment that gets linked together and becomes a belief because you have a strong emotional event. Say you're in a car accident and I don't know, maybe you're hit by a big truck, and then you create and you have this fear of semis going forward because you're afraid that trucks are going to hit you and you're going to get in a car accident because you're in a bad car accident, you got hurt really bad, ended up in the hospital. And so you've linked up trucks and fear and accidents with that thought. And you think it over and over again. Every time you see an accident that involves a truck, you add to that thought of, oh, trucks are dangerous, I'm afraid of them. And all of a sudden you're afraid to drive because you're afraid of trucks. And guess what? There's a lot of trucks on the road. So that's a weird example, but it was just one that popped into my head. But that's how our beliefs are formed. A lot of our beliefs, our core values and our core beliefs, and I haven't researched this, but I've read it several times, but the majority of them are formed before we're like 7 or 10 years old. So I don't know about you, but I don't even remember being a 7-year-old very much less do I remember the experiences before I was 7 and the values and the core beliefs that were installed in me. Guess what? Did I choose those? Did I mentally decide at 7 years old, these are the things that I'm going to believe? These are the things, and this is the way I see the world and parents and life and friends and relationships and money and everything else. If I decided those core things all before I was 7, and then I just looked for evidence between 7 and 60 to pile on top of that, yikes, right? So that's why this is such a powerful day, to actually look at some of the things that we think and that we believe, and we've been believing them for decades and decades in my case, but they're not even true for us. We didn't even consciously decide them. They were just programs and ideas and thoughts that were installed in us automatically as we were exposed to different experiences as children, and we assumed that they were factual and true. So many of those, I can think of so many of those in my own life. One of the biggest ones that I've dealt with for my entire life is the feeling of enough, or comparing ourselves to other people and not thinking that we measure up. I grew up in a family of all sisters, and I was the second of 4, and then we had an AFS sister and everything else. And somehow I hooked into my brain, probably before I was 7, that we were in this comparison thing and competition. And in my mind, I didn't measure up to my sisters. And it's kind of ludicrous and ridiculous because we're all kind of amazing in our own ways. We're all different. We're similar, but different. And we like different things. Just like any 4 women, we have different likes, dislikes, beliefs, thoughts, feelings. But somehow we get, when we're younger, these ideas and these thoughts installed in us. So let's talk about some common beliefs and their mindset things. And it's hard to consciously wrap our heads around sometimes that we have the ability. If we created these beliefs, we're not born believing anything, right? We are born like an empty slate, a blank chalkboard, an empty book. And we are written on every day of our life. Every experience of our life is written on our memory and our mind. And it's all morphing and creating our thoughts, our feelings, our beliefs, our experiences. Everything comes together to give us our mindset, our mental health. I'm probably way oversimplifying this. I know I am, but I only have a few minutes. So some common beliefs. Lack and scarcity are huge in our society today. And I will catch myself saying and doing things that demonstrate lack. Keeping and collecting things. Now, I didn't used to think this, but as I was moving and eliminating things from my life, I realized I was a borderline hoarder. I keep things and kept things and collected things that I hadn't seen for decades. I since have reformed, but to me, that represented lack in my life, thinking that I had to keep and hold on to all of these material things because I wasn't going to be able to get them again. That is definitely coming from a place of lack, not from a place of abundance. And so I worked on that and got rid of a lot of that. So lack and scarcity is a very common mental belief system thing. I'm not good enough, comparing yourself to others, massive thoughts and feelings about the world. Do you believe the world is a good place or an evil place? Do you believe people are bad or good? Do you believe whatever you believe? Beliefs are part of our mindset and part of our thoughts. And the vast majority of us never look at or even consider the things that we believe. We just operate automatically based on those beliefs, based on the thoughts that we have predominantly. So today what we're going to do is we're going to pick one belief, one thought that we have a lot, one belief, and we're going to run through it with the SOAP framework. So let's do lack and scarcity. I could do enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, but I think I've done that one in a previous Get Up and Go challenge. So you can go back and you can search that and you can find that example. So let's look at the thought and the belief and the story that we're telling her. Let's watch that dirty belief on that dirty mind. Let's wash our mind and get it clean of the lack and scarcity mindset, right? Now, how do you know if you have that? Look at your life. Look at the results you're getting. If you don't feel like you have what you want in a certain area of your life, the only thing preventing you from having that is some sort of a block in your mindset, some sort of a block, and you're not giving yourself permission to have what it is that you want. That would be an example of lack or scarcity. Otherwise, we would all have everything that we want all the time, right? So, what's the story I'm telling myself? It could be, I can't afford this. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve. There's not enough to go around. The pie's only so big and everybody else has got their piece of the pie, so there's none left for me. Things like that would be examples of lack and scarcity thinking. And so those might be the story I'm telling myself right now. Now, what story do I want to be telling myself? I want to be telling myself that I'm abundant, that there's plenty in the world to go around for me and for everybody else, or for everybody, and there's plenty for me as well. So I want to go from lack and scarcity, saying things like, it's too expensive, I can't afford that, to not even ever having to think about what things cost. If it feels right for me, I get it. That would be an example of an abundance mindset. You don't even look at the prices of things. You just know that you want something and you just bring it into your life. You bring it into your life. So lack and scarcity to abundance. That's the story I'm telling myself. What's the O? What are some ways to fill the gap from where I am now to where I want to be? How do I get from viewing things as there's not enough to viewing things as they're abundant? Well, one thing I like to do is I like to look around in the world, look around in nature, look for examples of abundance all around me. Have you ever thought about how many grains of sand or how many blades of grass or how many snowflakes or whatever there are, how many clouds, how many raindrops in the ocean, how many anything out in nature? And nature keeps replenishing itself, right? How many leaves are on one tree? They all fall off in the fall and then they all grow back again in the spring. So not only is there plenty to begin with, there's plenty that's always replenishing it. The world is always changing. Things are always growing. So under options, I can say, okay, I can look around and I can see so many examples of abundance. If there's so many examples of abundance, and I can see abundance in other people. If other people can do anything that you can imagine, then you can do it too. That is proof that you can do it too. So that's our O. So A, what am I going to take for an action? I am going to create an affirmation. So let's use affirmation as one of our tools today. An affirmation is just an I am statement. Anything we say after the words I am, we are creating in our belief system, in our thoughts, in our emotions, and actually in our life. So if I say, I can't afford this, or I can't, right? Or I'm not good enough. If I say that repeatedly over and over and over again and look for evidence to pile on that, guess what? I'm going to get that I'm not good enough. But if I say an affirmation like, let me think of one that would work. I played with this a little bit this morning. I can't remember. Oh my gosh. Totally blocked. All right, I was thinking about something else. All right, so abundance. If I'm looking around, I'm seeing all this abundance, what is an action I can take besides I'm going to look around and notice abundance? And I'm going to build a little storehouse of examples of abundance in my life and my experience. And I'm going to create an affirmation that says, I can afford whatever I want, or the universe provides me and supplies me with all of my needs and desires. There's plenty to go around for everyone, therefore there's plenty for me. That's a good one. There's plenty to go around for everyone, so there's plenty for me, right? I like that. There's plenty for everybody, and I am everybody. I'm one of everybody, right? Or I'm included in everybody. So then what can we do for our P? Our P is progress. How can we know if we're making progress? Well, what I like to do is I like to create the habit of every time I catch myself in a lack or scarcity type thought, I stop and then I substitute it with my affirmation. Well, there's plenty for everybody, so, and I'm an everybody, so there's plenty for me. There's plenty for everybody, there's plenty for me. I am, abundant, or I am supported by the universe. I am whatever you want to be. I'm trying to think. I actually do affirmations when I brush my teeth in the morning. I'm trying to think of what the ones are that I want to share with other people, because affirmations are very private. You can actually go online and you can find thousands and thousands of examples of affirmations. So I would add an affirmation. I would do an affirmation every time I catch myself thinking I can't afford this, or I don't deserve this, or this is too expensive. I would say, this isn't too expensive for me. I can afford this. I can have anything I want. I can create the funds or the resources to bring whatever I want into my life, something like that. Or I am a millionaire inside and out. That's a favorite of people. I have a millionaire mindset. That's a T. Harv Eker one. So whatever works for you. So the other tool that I really wanted to talk about today, I just thought of affirmations, was gratitude, and the ability and the power of gratitude. If we appreciate what we have now, more will always come into our life. If we don't appreciate what we have now, less will come into our life. So I like to think about gratitude during the day. Gratitude is another one that we could use for an action. We could just think of something that we're grateful for. Maybe we don't have the mansion that we want, but we live in a beautiful, cozy cottage and we have all our needs and desires met. So we want to appreciate our beautiful cottage and that environment that we're in already. Doesn't mean we don't want more, but we're appreciating what we've already acquired and what we already have in our life, so that we can manifest or have that castle in our life someday. Whatever you want, it's unique for each and every one of us. But we need to be grateful for what we have right now before we can expect more to come into our life. So that's a mindset thing and a mental health thing as well, is being appreciative, being grateful for what is. All right, I don't know, that got kind of convoluted. That is our day 27 for our action item today. Just pick one limited belief, run through the SOAP framework a little more smoothly than I just did probably, but pick a belief that you have. Maybe it's, it could be anything. It could be just something about another area or aspect of your life that you're working on. Usually these are interrelated, right? Our mindset, our brain, our thinking, our thoughts, our feelings, our beliefs affect everything about us, but it all starts in our mind, right? I don't know if we know this, but everything starts in our mind. We create in our mind and our imagination first everything that appears in our life. I wanted a new magnifying glass. I thought about a new magnifying glass. My sister bought me this awesome new magnifying glass with 12 lights on it. Because I keep breaking my magnifying glasses. And so that's an example of, I wanted something. I didn't say to myself, I can't afford a new magnifying glass. I just know that with COVID, it's hard for me to get out and about and around. And so all of a sudden, boom, hey, I found this cool magnifying glass. I got this for you. It was exactly what I wanted. All right, have an awesome day. Questions about this, because I might not have explained it very well, hit me up in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow, and we're going to talk about our spiritual health and our spiritual well-being. Take care. Bye. We're going to, of course, wash that up with soap, too.